Donald Trump is preparing to withdraw from the Paris Climate Accord. Big news. Environmentalist Bjorn Lomborg joins me now. Bjorn, is this the beginning of the end for the green push against fossil fuels?
Well, it's certainly the beginning of the end to the push with taxpayer money. Remember, the reason why we're not switching away from fossil fuels is not because people want to do global warming. It's because fossil fuels deliver cheaper and more reliable power in general, which is, of course, why the world used 81% of its energy from fossil fuels in 2000. And last year, it was still 81%.
You have a new op-ed. It's, I'll quote it. It's UN Climate Conference, just an excuse to shake the West down for cash. Bjorn, why is this, the COP29, this big climate conference, why is it a money grab?
Well, first of all, we have to remember there's a reason why it's called 29, because there's been 28 other meetings before it, which have resulted in almost nothing. This, of course, is one of the reasons why the Paris Agreement hasn't really worked. Instead of trying to keep on doing this, we should be thinking about doing much more innovation into green energy to make it cheaper so that everyone would switch. But that's not been the play for the last 2 decades. Instead, rich countries have tried to bribe the poorer part of the world to basically at least go along and saying that they want to do something about climate. We started spending about $100 billion a couple of years ago. That's mostly rebranded money. It's not real money. But now leaders from the poorer part of the world are saying, well, we want to up the ante. We want $1 trillion or more. I just read in Financial Times today that the head of the European Development Bank is actually suggesting that we should be spending $11.7 trillion per year. Of course, there's no way we can come up with that money, and certainly not with Trump as president.
Look, with these climate summits, they're not meeting their deadlines. They're not meeting their goals. People are opting out of the rules. What's going to happen to this whole COP29, COP30, God knows what? What's going to happen to all this lot?
They're very likely just going to continue. That's what we've seen with all other kinds of international meetings. But the real question is that where we're going to solve climate change? And no, it's not. That's why when Trump pulls out of the Paris Agreement, it's going to cause a lot of frustration around the rest of the world, but actually means we can stop doing the things that don't work. Remember, in the last 8 years before Paris, the global decarbonization rate was 1.98%. In the 8 years after Paris, it was 1.99%. It was an increase of 0.01 percentage point. It had no impact whatsoever. That's why stop doing what we're doing right now and start investing in green energy, research and development. This will be much, much cheaper, and it will actually be the stuff that works.
I think we get that message. Bjorn Lomborg, thanks very much for joining us. We'll see you again soon. Thanks a lot, sir. Appreciate it.